I saw in the news that the Louvre was robbed, or as the French call it, le Louvre. I guess what happened was, I guess it happened in the middle of the day. They used this giant, like, you know those ladders they have on the top of fire trucks? Like this giant ladder to get to the second story. They had all these tools, went in through the window, and then like went across and down, and it was a whole thing. And they did it in the middle of the day, right? At the whole Louvre had to be evacuated. People weren't allowed to go in. It was a whole thing. And they took like a bunch of nice things, like this super nice tiara from the 18th century that Princess Emily the 14th wore, and these like super nice, what are those clothes called? Like a coleta, like not a collar, dogs wear, necklace, some brincos, you know, earrings, probably like, I don't remember what they said, how much all of it was worth, but probably millions of dollars. I mean, this is like really fancy, historic, valuable. Now look, as far as the robbers are concerned, far be it for me to question the morality of theft, of robbery. You know, I don't know the circumstances that lead someone, right? The accumulation of a life that leads someone to go into the profession of theft, of robbery. Right, the failures in life, maybe feeling ostracized by society, all the factors that play into that, right? Maybe it's some sort of drug addiction, right? When you start to look at the whole picture as a whole, it becomes really hard to judge, right? Especially when it comes to maybe having to feed family members, having to survive. I mean, people die of starvation in this world, you know? People are evicted from their homes. And it's like, what would you do in that situation? You know, we can all get behind the story of Robin Hood, right? Whatever political affiliation you are, I feel like most people are on board with Robin Hood. In its essence, it's the story of two people going to the cafeteria, eating lunch together. One pulls out a giant slew of sandwiches and snacks that his mom made for him, and the other one realizes he forgot his lunch, right? And the one with all the stuff shares a bit of what he has with the person with no food. Although I guess Robin Hood's a bit different, because that's like going to another table, punching a guy in the face, taking his lunch, and then going back to your friend and sharing it with them. So I feel as though I'm getting a bit lost in the weeds, but what I can judge these people on is, like, of all the places to rob, why the Louvre? I mean, think about all the vacation homes strewn across France, right? All the vacation homes where the owners aren't even there most of the year, and they've got Rolexes stashed away in some bin off in the corner. If they went missing, the owners wouldn't even notice. There's so many items in this world that could be stolen that at most you're impacting one person, maybe not even that. But the Louvre, I mean, we're talking about these like pieces of historical significance, right? People traveling across the world to visit this place, to enjoy this, to be inspired, right? To see, to feel the history of our society, of humanity, who are going to be inspired to do what they can to improve on that humanity, right? Looking forward, building a better world. You know, you think about the 10-year-old girl who on that day was going to visit the Louvre, was going to be inspired by history. You know, 30 years from now would become a well-known historical author that would change the way we think about our past. And now she's not going to go into the Louvre because it was shut down, and she's not going to be inspired, and she's going to end up writing self-help books and actively make the world a worse place. I mean, take aside the moral aspect of it, just from an angle of like life planning, right? I mean, you're really going to be involved in a crime that's going to get national broadcast. You're going to have the top detectives in France working on that case, searching for the smallest hair, the smallest fingerprint, the smallest speck of blood. You're going to get caught in like 3 days. On top of that, as I understand it, this was a commissioned work, which, if I'm not mistaken, means someone was like, I'll pay someone to rob the Louvre for me. And I don't know, what's the commission rate for robbing the Louvre these days? Probably like 30% at most. right? So you steal these millions of dollars and then you only walk away with a couple $100,000. It just seems like the risk, I don't know, I just feel like even for someone who's gonna do a theft, they're just, from a moral perspective, from a financial perspective, from a rational perspective, there's just so many better ways to go about this. And I will admit that I saw a 7-minute video on this robbery, so it's possible that there are details of the story that I'm not quite aware of, right? But from my corner of the world, 20,000 miles away from France, I can't help but think that mistakes were made.